Hey, good morning, YouTube. This is the Maineprepper. I want to talk about threat to preppers, the entitled. Whether RAW is worldwide or it's local in the form of a disaster, either natural or man-made, hurricane, flood, toxic chemical spill or whatnot, I encourage you to become involved in your community around you. That's your neighbors, your suburban neighborhood, your apartment building, or your little town that you live in. I do this for a number of reasons, and I strongly suggest we all do it before RAW, not after. And you can do it afterward as well, but before is much better. It may help wake other people up. Remember, the more people that are with us, the fewer that may be against us down the road. Let me adjust this camera a tad bit. Number two, the more aware folks are, the easier we will pull together and help one another in any kind of crisis. Number three, a community has a greater chance of surviving almost anything if they can pull together and help each other and share resources voluntarily. And also, if there is a crisis in the form of large numbers of people, and which will be a problem, the human wave, as I talked about in my last video. In dealing with that, you're going to definitely need your community standing shoulder to shoulder to deal with that effectively and morally. Number four, it helps you identify and assess both who is going to help and who is going to be a problem later on. On this ladder for problems, you're going to get laughed at and mocked and sneered at by these problem people. They're going to call you a kook. Don't worry. This is a good thing, and here's why. When things fall through the floor, the same arrogance and pride that they displayed to you when you were talking to them about prepping is going to keep them a little bit reluctant to come knocking on your door and with their hand out and asking for help. It's also going to help you identify who the problem is. In fact, if their tone was rude and insulting, in most cases they won't even bother to come by. They will, however, most likely do something criminal in order to take from you. That's right, when they become desperate, they're going to try and steal from you. If you're unarmed, they'll either try to rob you or shoot you and take your preparations in either case. Yes, they will. I have seen it. I have seen wars and disasters, and I have seen these people. And they're all the same. I don't care what their religion is, where they're from in the world, they are all the same. This is why we don't just have guns, okay? Just having guns is not enough. This is why we learn how to shoot them. This is why we're going to be spending a little time at the range each week, staying fresh. I'm going to show you things that you can do not only at the range, but also that you can do at home, that don't take any ammunition and that are essentially free, that you can do to stay fresh and to keep your skill set sharp. To be on top of your game. Now, I cannot teach you how to shoot on a video. That's not safe. I can show you some things before you go to the range and talk about range safety with you, so you won't feel completely lost, but you're going to need to get down to the range. If you have a friend that's already knows how to shoot and they have a place to go, that's the best way to do it. And the great thing is, a lot of people I know that shoot are real easy to talk into prepping. In fact, some of them already are. And it may be a pleasant surprise for you. Okay, anyway, in either case, I'm going to teach you things to improve upon what you know and teach you the tactics on how to fight to defend yourself and win if you have a fight. In the very near future, we will be talking about guns in greater detail, including the 3 guns I recommend for every prepper. Now, please don't lose focus, okay? I know I'm doing a lot of this right now, but it's because we may need this skill set less than 1/100th of 1% of the time. But when you do need it, you need to be really good at it. Being just sort of okay when the other guy is good means you come in second place, and that's a dirt nap. And you don't want to take that one. Well-armed and well-trained can be done by nearly anyone and does not have to cost us a fortune. That's the good news. Now, let's talk about the entitled for a moment. The entitled believe they are entitled to things they did not produce, earn, or already own. Please don't hear what I am not saying. This is not some screed against people that are on unemployment or anything like that. That's a different category of people. If you're just looking at them, you're looking at about 1/10 of the actual number of people that may be a problem, and you're focusing on the wrong thing. I'm talking about a very dangerous and nasty form of individual in our society. These people are all around you. They have jobs, they have money and possession. They seem just like anybody else, and there's a lot of them. The entitled may be those I've identified in previous videos. They may be hunters. And I'm not saying all hunters are going to be like that, but they're going to be a little bit more dangerous. Pseudo-preppers, gun-ho types, gang members, all of them have the potential to be extremely dangerous problems for us. The entitled may be these people. They also believe that it is someone else's responsibility to provide for them when they refuse to prepare themselves. They believe their failure to plan is your responsibility and probably your fault too. That they are entitled for whatever reason to some of your preps or all of them. And people will rationalize heavily when they are desperate. They refuse to prepare, preferring to sneer and mock because it's fashionable and fun. Sneering and mocking at someone who is doing something they believe in is a way that weak-minded, inferior people behave. It's also a way for them to perhaps help ignore their responsibilities. They have to vilify what you're doing. We preppers toil and labor to be ready and take personal responsibility for our actions and for our families and our community. We make a lot of sacrifice of our time, energy, and money to do this. The entitled do absolutely nothing in this lane. While we are brown bagging, they are going out to lunch. While we spend our vacation perhaps putting in fruit trees or building a chicken coop or a fence, something like that, they go on a cruise. They go to the golf course. We go to the rifle range. They learn to water ski. We learn how to fish and hunt. They go to the tanning booth. We pull weeds in the garden. We read books and watch YouTube videos and learn how to do things. They go to the movies and watch reality television. We put our money into our pantry, into solar panels and generators and fuel, into buying the tools and necessities. They put theirs into the stock market, hoping to gamble and get rich. We buy a retreat in the woods and dream of a cabin. They buy timeshare. We daily make sacrifices because we believe in what we're doing. They make no such sacrifice. We endure a lot of hardship while they enjoy luxury. While we're toiling, they laugh down at us. As you're bent over in the garden with your shovel, they're driving by in their sports car to go play. There is nothing wrong with playing and having fun, but not when you are neglecting your responsibilities to do so. They claim there's never going to be a problem because their eyes have never seen a problem, so it doesn't exist. It's as though history is something in a book that somebody else should read, and therefore they that ignore their history are doomed to repeat it, at least the bad parts of it. And now I'm not when Raw hits, they will show up at our door, therefore, and demand that we elitist preppers share with them. After all, you have so much. I'm not a cruel person, and I do not wish to turn any away, but in this case, I absolutely will. I am prepared to help my neighbors and community and believe we will work together to protect our homes and community from being overrun by these entitlement locusts. These folks did nothing to prepare when it was easy and affordable. They did, however, mock, sneer, and jeer while they squandered their resources on self-fulfillment and self-worship. They believe themselves to be more important than you and your family and make statements like, I'll do whatever I have to do to take care of me and mine. But that doing what they had to do did not include any sacrifice before the fact. The sacrifice is going to come from you. In the absence of police or law enforcement protection, they will resort to theft and possibly be willing to commit murder to get what they want. After you watch my Threats to Prepper videos, you will hopefully see why I feel so strongly about the coming self-defense series of videos that I will be making. I hope we never have to use these skills. Folks, I am tired of war. I am tired of violence. I don't want to ever kill anybody again. But I know the way the hearts of the entitled work, the wicked, the cruel, and the lazy are the reasons we have wars and the reasons that we must retain our right to self-defense. And that's a God-given right, by the way. It's guaranteed by the Second Amendment, but it's not granted you by them, the government. It's granted you by God. And government is wise when it seeks to work hand in hand with God. Therefore, we will learn to defend ourselves. So, folks, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to the next series of videos for two reasons. Because I want you to be confident, and I pray that we will never have to use it. Because if folks know that you are prepared to defend yourself, you will be the last person on their list that they come visit to do bodily harm and injury. Thank you, folks. This has been the Maineprepper. I look forward to seeing you again soon. I will be posting at least every other day. I have a lot of doctor's appointments going on right now. Thank you.